Matt Bernie are taking a look at the late pick 4 sequence Saturday afternoon up at Woodbine, Queens Plate Saturday. The sequence races 10 through 13, 20-cent base bet, $300,000 guaranteed in the late pick 4. And guess what? The Queens Plate is the kickoff leg of this sequence. And I think it's a salty one. I'm using DRF Ticketmaker. I would encourage anyone else to go ahead and do so. You head on over to drfticketmaker.com, punch in your plays if you have a DRF Bets account. All you do is click Bet Now. Don't even have to go punching away. It does it all for you. It's a beautiful thing. DRF Ticketmaker. Race number 10 is the Queen's Plate. And again, I made mention that I need to sort of make a decision somewhere because I think this is a very salty sequence. This happens to be the DRF Bets race of the day for Saturday. It's also the Woodbine play of the day for Saturday. You can go and find those videos on video.drf.com as well as the Daily Racing Forms YouTube channel. I'm going to go with 1A and 2Bs in here. My lone A is going to be Wonder Godot, and I know this is a dangerous move because Wonder Godot has developed a bit of a habit of hanging, but I'm hopeful the blinkers going on from Mark Casse, that's going to get this filly over the top. She gets a 5-pound break from the boys in this spot. I've always felt like 1.25 miles synthetic. This is what she wants. And hopefully, again, the blinkers really do the trick and the light bulb goes on. She is my only A in here. My 2 Bs are going to be the other Cassie in here, one of them anyway. The number 10, Telekinesis. Again, he's really done nothing wrong in his career. He's 204 lifetime. He won the plate trial impressively most recently. I just think, to be honest, Wonder Godot, I think she might be better than him and better suited for this distance, 10 furlongs. My other backup is going to be the 5, Silent Poet. I think Silent Poet at 30 to 1. Don't think you're going to get 30 to 1, but he could be the best horse long-term coming out of this race. So maybe this is a little bit too much too soon for him, but if he wins, I want to have him somewhere, so I'm going to make him a B. My lone A in the Queen's Plate is Wonder Godot. My backups, my 2 Bs, the 5, Silent Poet, and the 10, Telekinesis. Let's move on to race number 11. This is an interesting 1-mile turf event. Again, 1 mile up at Woodbine is 1 turn. These are optional $40,000 claimers. I'm going to go 4 deep in here, 3 A's and 1 B. My A is going to be the 6, the 9, and the 12. My B is the 2. The number 6, Fritzy's Boy, highest last out buyer in the field with a 79. I know he's 1 for 15. This is the kind of horse I usually fade, but I do feel like there's a scenario. He got close to making the front going 7/8 in that first start off of a considerable layoff. He's going to be tighter this time around. I know you go out to a mile, but I think this could work for him. I think he makes a lot of sense in here. The number 6 horse, or excuse me, the number 9 horse is Lapochka. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The most recent start, I didn't think it was bad. Co-highest last out buyer in the field with a 79. Another horse that's on a bit of a losing streak here, 1 for 14 overall, and broke the maiden actually on dirt in the second lifetime start. But this horse has been in good form. Gets down to a softer group here, going from the non-winners of 1 other than down to this level, the optional 40, in for the $40,000 tag. Again, another horse that I think makes just a considerable amount of sense in here. And then a little bit of a horse that I think is interesting is the number 12, Silent Jimmy. This is a horse I'm going to make an A, 15 to 1 on the morning line. The last 4 starts, well, last 3 anyway, they've all been on synthetic. I'm drawing a line through those 3 because this horse is 0 for 11 on synth. He's run 2nd or 3rd on 8 different occasions. Then you're left with the October 22nd race from last year. That was on turf going 7/8, but that preceded a very long layoff, so I'm drawing a line through that race as well. Then you're left with 2 really strong 1-turn races up at Woodbine. The race where he broke his maiden, that was on August the 13th, and then he comes back and he runs in a stakes race and runs a decent 4th. Oh, by the way, behind Mr. Haverkamp and King in his court, a couple of horses that in a race like this, they'd be barred from the wagering. So I think this horse is really interesting and really sneaky. 15 to 1, he may actually be in that vicinity because the recent form doesn't look very good. I think Silent Jimmy is sneaky in a spot like this. My lone backup in here is going to be the number 2, looking at Bravo. Blinkers go on for Kevin Attard. Second start off at the layoff. Goes from synth over to the turf. The only victory thus far in his career has come on turf, so that's a positive. There's a part of me that wonders, I don't know how good this horse actually is, and I think he's going to get bet a little bit down from that 6 to 1 morning line. Made him a backup as a B. So again, 3 A's for me in this spot. 6, 9, and 12. 1 backup, a B, the number 2 horse. Let's move on to race number 12. This is going 6 furlongs on the main track. Now winners of 1 other than, again, I'm using 4 horses, 3 A's and a B. My 3 A's, 8, 9, and 10. The 8 horse, Fire Angel Michaela. Excuse me. The most recent start was going 1 turn on the turf at a mile for Norm McKnight. Did not work. Was out there on the front end, spit the bit badly. Go back to the career debut, 2 starts back, gate to wire fashion, 79 buyer, 97 time form US rating that is not pace adjusted. I think this horse makes a ton of sense in this spot. The only concern would be, is there an ability for this horse to shut it down? or is it a horse that absolutely needs the lead? The jury is out. We don't know that just yet, but I'll find out at odds of 5-1. The number 9 Swack, I think, is interesting coming in. First time for Roger Atfield. This horse used to be in Southern California for Richard Mandel, and I can't even say Southern California, California in general, because debuted at Del Mar last year, and then was shipped up to Golden Gate off of a long layoff back in March, and broke the maiden very impressively that day at odds of 4-1, earned a 67 Beyer and a 90 time form US rating. Now has been here for a little while training for Roger Atfield. Wouldn't be surprised at all if this horse fires a big effort in the first start in Canada, 10-1 on the morning line. And the number 10 Big Mistake, I think, is going to be the favorite in a race like this. Has paired up 75s in the 2 starts here as a 4-year-old. I've always been a big fan, a big proponent of looking at paired up Beyer tops anyway, and projecting a forward move there. I think you get a career best effort, 3-1 in the morning line. You're not going to get much of a price there, but I do think that Big Mistake is one of the more likely win candidates in this race. And as far as my backup is concerned, I'm going to use the number 2, Yangtze Delta. This is a horse that broke the maiden most recently, sat off of a hot pace, and was just able to get the job done. The horse that he defeated, or she defeated, excuse me, came back to win next out and break her maiden. So I think this horse is in good form, and again, from a speed figure standpoint, I know you're talking about a 3-year-old dealing with some older horses, but I think she fits in here okay. Luis Contreras retains the mount, made this horse a B. So again, the 4 horses I'm using, 3 A's, 8, 9, and 10. My backup, the B, is the number 2. Hopefully we're alive when we can get to the Nightcap. Race number 13 on a long day, and apparently it's going to be a very hot day. If you're going to be out at Woodbine, prepare, hydrate. I'm going to use 3 horses in this maiden $25,000 claimer, 6.5 furlongs on the turf course, excuse me. The number 1, Hey Howie. I mean, this is one of those instances where 0 for 10, I get it. I don't like picking losers either, prolonged losers. But this horse on paper, from a fig standpoint, lays over this field. 5-2, I don't think you get 5-2. I think this horse comes down a little bit from there, but it is always so dangerous to trust a horse that has started his career on a 10-race losing streak. From a fig standpoint, though, he is strictly the horse to beat. He is going to be an A for me in here, along with the number 3, Calculating Cat. Now, Calculating Cat, we haven't seen this horse since August of 2016 as a 2-year-old. Missed the entire 3-year-old campaign. Now is going out for new connections. The connections do very well off of a long layoff, particularly layoffs of this nature. Luis Contreras takes them out. I think there's some interesting things here, some interesting angles. So I'm going to make this horse an A as well. And my lone backup in here is going to be a first-time starter for Kevin Attard. That's going to be the 10, Candy Crete. Rafael Hernandez has the mount. Again, if you don't believe that the 1 horse is ever going to win a race, and if you think that the 3 horse probably going to need one off of such a long layoff, why not take a shot with the fresh face in here? Because many of these other horses have sort of proven what they are at this point in the game. The 10, Candy Crete, could be anything at this point. So I made him a B, my only backup in here. My 2 A's, the 1, Hey Howie. The number 3, excuse me, Calculating Cat. My lone backup is the number 10. That would be Candy Crete. Again, this is a fun sequence. Races 10 through 13. $300,000 guaranteed pick 4 sequence. The late pick 4 at Woodbine on Saturday. It's Queen's Plate Saturday, and this entire sequence kicks off with race number 10, which would be the Queen's Plate again. The DRF Bets Race of the Day, the Woodbine Play of the Day. You can head on over to the Race of the Day page on DRF.com. Download your free formulator past performances and go through this race. Scheduled post time for the Queen's Plate in the kickoff leg of the $300,000 20-cent pick 4 is 5:36 Eastern. Best of luck.